It's been a while since my last video, but I'm coming back with something really cool. If you've ever wanted to use a graphics building software that's a little bit advanced than GT Title Designer or whatever, or you have some more specific needs, this is kind of the way to go. So this is called Wasp3D Designer. It's part of the Wasp3D XPRESS piece of software that they provide. It's a really cool company, and I spoke with them, and they got me to make this video for them. But after looking into it for a while, I actually kind of fell in love with it. It's really nice for what it offers you, and it's awesome. So it is fully free, like I said, completely free to use, and it basically rivals Expression, rivals Viz, and any kind of other major graphics creation software. So I'm going to jump right into it and show you the tools that are available. I'm going to hit New on the top left here, and I've only been working on this for a few days. I don't really have that much experience in using it, so you'll see how much of cool things I can make without utilizing completely all the tools, I'm learning as I go, and so will you. I'm not an expert, but I can create a few cool things. So open up the interface, you have your viewer window here. You can create some shapes, tools, whatever. 3D objects as well. This is fully 3D available for playout, which is really cool. You have a timeline at the bottom for animation, which is really nice, similar to After Effects. Here you have your hierarchy, which is all your layers inside of the project. And then on the bottom right, you'll have your parameters for anything you add. So the first thing I'm going to do is create a base for my graphic. So in this scenario, let's say I want to create a stats graphic. So I'm going to go ahead and hit video here to import a video. And I already have a QuickTime video, which is about 500 megabytes, and it's an animated background. So once you add it here in video, you can drag and drop it on top. And here we are. I've dragged it on top and it's playing. So then, on the bottom right, a bunch of parameters come up that I can edit, change. And the really cool thing is later on, you can link these parameters to variables, which then you can edit when you're playing out, which is really nice. And it also appears over here as a sprite, so that's kind of the terminology there is. You can then also edit materials, which is cool, and you have these tabs to edit everything. Some things are a bit too advanced for me, so I don't play around with them, but the way I do it works, which is cool. So now when I imported this animated video, as you can see, it's kind of still right now, nothing's there. So I need to fix that. So if I click on my sprite over here that I added, inside of this tab here, the texture pool tab, here are the parameters. I think they might also display somewhere here. No, they display only here. Cool. So play control, if you go to it, you can click these three little dots, and when you press that, it comes up with a window like this. You can make bigger or whatever you want. And here you can play. As you can see, the video is playing. You can pause it, rewind it, go frame by frame, which is really nice. So since this is an animated background, we want it to be looping forever. So in the play mode, all you do is play infinite and hit OK. So now, as you can see, we have a low-res version of the animated background playing out. Obviously, it's not at full resolution because this is a preview window, so we don't want to waste resources while we're building, and we want it to be nice and smooth when not playing out. So here we are. This is just animating in the background, which is really nice. For now, I'm going to go ahead and pause it because it's going to make me dizzy when I look at this for so long, and let's start building some sort of stats graphic here that we can. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add an image. So similar way, I have a folder of the Valorant agents that I'm going to use as a placeholder. First one I'm going to load in is, let's say, Viper. So Viper is in. I'm going to drag and drop her from my texture pool into here. So now I have an image. And then you can simply just hold this and move it around where you want. So I'm going to position it here. And then you can also use these tools here to position side to side, go up and down, and also change the Z-axes to go forward or backwards. I'm going to set that 0 for now. This basically makes it go forwards and backwards because this is all the 3D space. And same here, you can rotate it this way and that way. And the reason this is clipping is, once again, because of the axes this is on. If I were to move this forward like that, or the other way, it would be a bit different. So I'm going to go ahead and reset everything, move this to where I want it. So here we are, here we have our Viper graphic. So next up, I'm going to take some inspirations from a different graphic I already built. So we're going to create some boxes to create these stats. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to hit rectangle, and I'm going to make some rectangles. I'm going to make one over here. And I'm going to go over to my parameters tab. So over here. And here you can change a fill color. You can also do an outline, which is cool, and have an outline, but I don't want one. I just want this. So I'm going to go to my fill color. And here you can basically go to color picker, or you can go to this little color wheel. So I want this to be completely black, so I'm going to click OK. So now here I have my first shape that I can move around. Then I'm going to want some text inside. So let's say this is going to be for KDA or whatever, right? So simple, you just go hit T, and you can create a text. So I'm going to put the text right here, and then over here on the top you have press F11 to enter text, text type. You can basically just modify text that you want, and here you have the text. So I'm going to change this to text here for now, or let's call it TBD, empty. Enter, there we go. So here we have our text, to be decided. I'm going to place it right here in the center. So these two will be my kind of, this rectangle and this 2D shape will be my first thing. I will then want to duplicate this at the same time, so I think I could just Control-C and Control-V. No, I can't. Let me do that a different way. If I grab them both, Control-G to put them in a group, and then once they're in a group, maybe I can duplicate the group now. So they're in a group. Oh, there you go. If I shift-click, I can basically duplicate it, or Control-click to duplicate it. Perfect. So now, I'm going to use my arrow keys to perfectly line this up. So move that on the side. So there you go, now they're perfectly lined up. For this one, I will want the background of this specific rectangle to be white. So let's go here and make it... Actually, white is a bit... Yeah, let's make it a bit grey. So we go grey like this. Cool. And we can, I guess, change the text color to be black as well. So here in the 4 color, I can change that to be black. So a lot of these attributes and whatever, they make a lot of sense. You just got to look around for what you want to change, and then you just adjust them here, which is cool. Okay, so here we have these few shapes. Now let's say I want to animate this to have like a really cool view, and let's also adjust this to be a little nicer looking. So let's take that. Let's change the width of the rectangle a bit, so it's a bit wider, so it goes behind the character that we have, and then move the shape this way. And let's make sure both of these shapes are in the same exact size, or y-axis. So let's make it 119. And then for this one also, I will make it 119. 119. There you go. So now both of these are in the exact same axes, so they should be perfectly matching. I'll move that tiny bit here to the side. There we go. So this is our graphic. I will take this text and try and center it a bit, so I put it right there. So here we would have something like KDA and then boom. So now we want to animate this graphic. So we want to take this little box and have it animated in a nice way. So what I'm going to do is actually take these two and put them into this group. So they're both in the same group. Or can I ungroup this? Yeah, let's take both of these together and then hit group. There you go. So now I have one group here, group number 3. So what I want to do, animation-wise, is all editable here. So if I move this up a bit to have more space to look at what I'm looking, you can hit something called auto. And what this will do is anything I will change now parameter-wise will change. So I'm going to hit this to selected. So that means whatever I have selected will show up. So if I hit like this or whatever, it will only show up at the bottom of what I am animating. So I want this to appear. I want it to fade in. So I'm going to hit group 3. And I'm going to hit this little icon called visibility. So now, in terms of visibility, as you can see, it's off. And if I hit node track, and I hit visibility again, as you can see, it goes invisible. So I have a keyframe for it being visible and a keyframe for invisible. So I'm going to change that and put it like this. So now when I hit play, this is what the animation is like. It just fades it on. I want that to be a little faster like this. So I'm going to hit boom. It fades on like that, in a nice way. So here we have it fading on. And as you can see, it's kind of fading on top of this other graphic. So in order to fix that, let's go to this character. We need to move the axes a bit forward. So if I change this to 5, or is it minus 5? Yes, -5. So in the 3D space, minus moves it towards you, and then plus moves it backwards. So now this is -5, so this graphic is on top. Let's take also the background we have, which is sprite 1, and let's move it back by like 1, I guess. If that works. Yeah, moved it back by 1. Amazing. Here we are. Cool. So if I am to play it again, there we go. We have a cool little animation here. And as you can see, also because I had the auto cue on, this also changed this animation. So as you can see, there's a slight push-in on the character that we just had, which I accidentally did, but it does look kind of cool. So here we have the first animation, just fades on. Now, I'm going to take these rectangles, this group here, and I'm going to do a cool animation on it. So I want the in animation to finish at 15 frames. So I'm going to just slightly jiggle it. So here's the position. Then before, I'm going to move the position all the way down, like down here. So here we have the translation tab that comes in. So now if I play it, the animation will look something like that. So it just kind of fades in and it moves up. It's pretty cool. And this applies to the entire group. So as you can see, this animation, these keyframes are translating just the group, which is very, very nice. So what I'm going to do now is ease it in, because right now it's very rigid. You know, I want to make it look a bit nicer. So I'm going to go ahead and hit this keyframe, and over on the bottom right in the key details, you have ease in. So the value is currently on 0, and then when you hit the first keyframe, you have ease out. So essentially, the value you add here to this W value, this needs to total a value of 1. Otherwise, the animation will look weird. So if I have 0.3 on my ease out, and on the last keyframe, I can only have 0.7. Otherwise, it will look weird. So if I hit play now, as you can see, it eases it and eases out in a nice way. But I want to adjust these values to make it look cooler. I want it to be snappier going in. So let's see what it looks like here. If I go to the beginning and play, and I want my ease out to be 0. Let's see what this looks like. So there you go, it appears in a nice way. Let's maybe move this up like that. Let's see what this does. What if I do 1? Let's go back to 0. And then last keyframe, let's do ease out. Change that to 1. Let's have a look at what this does. Okay, I like this a lot more. So this looks very nice animation-wise. Boom. Here we have it. It just kind of zooms in like that. Now, this is that little tab done. Let's say I want to create a copy of this and have 3 more of these. So all you do is just take the group and you hold shift, drag it, let go, and it comes up with the copy options. So I want 3 copies, and I want to offset the frames by, let's say, 10. So the animation will offset by 10 frames. And then value offset. So this is translation. So I want this to be, let's say, 100 in X value to be different, and I'm going to hit proceed. So here we are. This is what it does. It animates it like that. So it creates 3 copies of the group, same animations, offsets it by 10 frames, and moves it. But I accidentally changed it on my Y, so I need to change it on my... Sorry, I changed the X-axis, but I want to change the Y, so I made a little mistake. So I'm going to shift drag it. I do not want to change the X-axis. I'm going to leave this on 0. My Y, I want to change by 100. So I'm just going to hit, like, minus 100 for it to go downwards. And then 3 copies. And then I want to offset the frames by, yeah, like, let's do 8. I'm going to hit proceed. And there you go, here we are. So if I go to the beginning, I'll turn off this auto animate. It's a bit, I need to add a bit more value on the Y. Let's change that again. So all we do is just hit Control Z and we undo until the groups are out. So here we are. We undid it, grab the group again, drag and drop, X 0, value offset minus 120. Let's try that. I think that could work. 3, and then let's do 8 frame offset, proceed. Yep, there you go, that's exactly what I wanted. So now if I hit play, it will animate like this, which is very nice, and you can see how smooth it is coming in. Now the only thing is, once you do this and copy everything, if you adjust one, it will not adjust the others, so make sure that you have it right the first time. So here we are, now we have this graphic. Then I'm going to want to have another box that comes in at the top, which will just say something, and then I want this animation of this character to slide in. So I'm going to hit sprite 2, which is this graphic, and I want to animate this as well. So right now I have the translation. I'm going to remove this completely. I want this at at 10 frames in, I want this to be in this position. So I'm going to hit auto and then just jiggle it to add the keyframe. And then at the beginning, I want it to be off screen completely. So I'm just going to take the x-axis and just move it like this. So now when I hit play, it will move in like that. And as you can see, we also have a problem with the layering because it goes above, if you see what I mean. So we need to take this and then move this onto a like -5, let's say. There you go. Oops, -5. So it's on -5, so it's ahead of everything. And I'll also make the first keyframe -5 as well. So when you go to the beginning, it's at the front. So the animation looks something like this. Very nice. So moving on, I want to ease this in again because the ease in effect looks very nice. So I'm going to do this, where is it? Ease in. Let's hit that to 80%. Nope, that doesn't look good. Let's set it back to 0. Let's go back to this first keyframe and let's set that to 0.9 because I think that looks cool. And I hit play. Okay. I think it's a little fast, so all I'm going to do is just extend the animation. There you go. So much nicer. So now I have the animations coming in and my agent appearing. Now while this is happening, let's go to my sprite 1, which was my animated background. Hit this texture pool to open the parametric. And then I'm going to hit these 3 little dots. And then all I'm going to do is wait for this tab to open. If it opens, sprite 1. There you go. I'm going to hit play infinite. Okay. So now the animation will have an animated background, and then it will just animate the graphics in like this. So that's what it looks like, which is very nice. Now, let's say I want to have an in animation and an out animation. So I want to wipe into this and wipe out. That is very possible to do. So that's in my video where this in transition comes in. So I'm going to add that in, and it's an in transition that I made earlier. I'm going to drag and drop it, and I'm going to move it all the way to the foreground. So I'm going to make this like -6. There you go, -6. And if I go to my play control, I'll show you exactly what it does. Where is it? This one, right there, yeah. So this does this sort of animation that I made. So it starts over here empty, and then it wipes on like that. And then at this point is when we want to cut the graphic on, and then now the graphic is out. So that's the intended use. So we do not want this to loop, because if I do play infinite, it's going to keep doing this, and we don't want that. So I'm going to turn this off, hit seek, hit OK. Now, I'm going to go to the beginning of my video. I'm going to find which keyframe it covers full screen. So it covers the full screen at frame number 22. 22, okay. So frame 22, 21, 22 is where it covers everything. So everything that I have animated, I kind of want to move. So let's see if I can move all these animations at the same time. So, I can. So all I do is just take this, and I'm going to move that to there. Just grab it. And move it. So these are my animations. Then I want to offset these by the whatever amount of frames I want. Let's do it like that. So now on the 22nd frame, it will do all my animations. There we go. That's correct. I also want the background to be invisible until my 20 frame. So as we did before, I click on my sprite 1, click the auto cue and do visibility. So now, if I open it up, this is my visibility. I want it to become visible on frame 22. So 22, it will, I'm going to flip these around. So it will be invisible. Frame 22, it will appear like that and then do the rest of the animations. So let's, I think I deleted everything. Did I? Oh no, never mind. So let's play. Let's undo this. I think I had something selected which I shouldn't have. Let's undo all this. Just hit Control Z. I'm still fairly new to the software, so this happens, but once you get used to it, here we go. So instead of selecting everything, I just want to select sprite 1 and then do the visibility there, and then only affect the visibility. Here we go. Yep, there you go, that's correct now. So I hit play, 22nd frame, everything comes on and animates. So now, if I want to play this in transition video, I dragged it on top at sprite number 3. over here at the top in the default tab, you can right click. If I go to boom, boom, yeah, default. Yeah, frame number 1. Right click, control, and I'm going to click add. So now it comes up with a bunch of things I can do on this specific frame. So you can add whatever you want. You can change a texture of something. You can change, like, you can save the scene, or in this instance, play video. So on keyframe 1, I will want to target this in transition video, and I want it to play. So when keyframe 1 is hit in the playout, it will take this video and it will play it. So I'm going to hit add, and I'm going to do save action as set. Or sorry, just add, and then it should be already there. Yeah, it's there. So now when I hit Q and I hit play, it will play the video, and I mistimed the keyframe, so let's move all this back by a bit. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So let's go to the beginning, hit play, mistimed it again, let's see now. There you go. So now it's going to wipe. Under the wipe, it reveals the background, and it continues, which is cool. So play, reveals, and it goes. Now, if I want to do a wipe out, it's a similar process. I'm going to go to the end, and let's say I want to pause it right here. Right-click, control, pause indefinite. So now when I cue the graphic and play it, it will animate on like this, do all these animations, and then it pauses until the next time you hit play. So now the next time I hit play, I want it to do another set of animations. So I will take this keyframe here, control, add, video, play, target, primitive, in transition to, add. So now, when I play, it will pause on this keyframe 74. When I hit play again, it will play the next keyframe, which is the video again. So during that video, I also want to do the out animation, which should be on keyframe 13. So 74, that's going to be 87. So here I want everything to just, you know, fade out. So I'm going to select everything I have, and I'm going to do it in a lazy way, and I'm going to take everything and I'm going to put it in a group, so Control G. So now this is all in group 13, and then I'm going to hit auto and then change visibility of this group. So I'm just doing it in a nice and lazy way because I can. So on this frame, it will just go from visible to invisible. So now if I hit this auto cue again, go to the beginning, I hit play, animates the graphic on, has all my data, pauses it, I hit play, and it goes out, and it's animated out. Very cool. And that is the end. So that is it. Very, very cool. There is also a possibility of reversing stuff, so you can right-click Control and change it, and then you can make it play in a certain way, backwards or forwards, which is nice. Here in the direction, forward, backwards, bidirectional. So when you hit play, it will go forward or backwards. But I'll show that in another video. In this instance, I do not use that because we have a video player. So yeah, there you go. It's working, play, and boom, out. So the reason I'm not using these bidirectional and directional reverses or whatever is because the way the video playout works is if you see when I'm dragging through everything, the background appears and everything, you don't see this video. That's because this cue plays the video separately to what's on the timeline and then shows it. So that's that. So here we are. Frame number 1, it plays the video, and then it does all these animations, and then it plays it again. So one more time. Plays, animates, done, hit play, it's gone, we're out of the graphic. Very nice. Now the next thing I want to show you is how to link everything to be editable once you actually play this out as a graphic. So I'm going to take these different bits of text, and then this here as well. I want all of this to be changeable. So I'm going to open up the groups, which I made in a messy way. Please be more careful when you do this. So over here, my text to 2D1, and this text, I want this to be changeable. So on the bottom left, you have a tab called Variable Sheet over here, and you can create variables which are editable. So I'm going to click Variable, and I'm going to add a string, which gives you a 256 character length, and I'm going to call this Title 1, and then you can grab this, drag it, and then link it to this, and then hit OK. So now you can see this becomes empty. That's because whatever you input here, so test, that then becomes this text. So all I'm going to do is just create a bunch of different strings. I'm going to call this one text number 1. I'm going to add another one. I'm going to call this title 2. text 2, and all I'm going to do is take that, link it to, oops, so text 2, which one is it? Is this group? Yeah, it's this group. So I'm going to take that, and I'm going to link it to, is it this one? Yeah. No, that's a title. Oops. Here we go. As you can see, I was a bit messy and I didn't rename stuff, so that's what I get for doing that. And you just drag and drop and link it. There you go. Oh, and I relinked it to the wrong one. Let's hit Control-Z, undo that, delete this, and let's rebind this text back to the one it was supposed to be, which is this one. Yeah, so let's input value test1, test2. Okay, let's relink this back. That's right there. Boom. Here we go. And let's hide this group because I've already edited it. So this title is this one. Hit OK. So if I do test 3, there you go, that works. And I'm going to add another one, text 2. Then I'm going to link that to this one, I think. Yeah, there you go. And I'm going to also type test 4. So there you go. So now I've linked test 1, 2, 3, 4, and these are my variables. I will also need to do the same for this one, this one, this one, and this one. But I can't be bothered, so we're only going to do the top 2 for now. The next thing I want to do is also change this image. So it's very simple as well. You click variable, and what can we do to change an image? There is one called W file. If you go over the top, oh, there's different file formats. AI shape, PSD file, image, environment, XML, Excel. I'm going to hit image, okay. And now I'm going to call this agent. And now I can drag and drop this to be anything I want. So over in my parameters here, I have something called file name. So if I hit my agent, which is sprite number, which one is it? Sprite number 2? Yep, sprite number 2. Here I have a file name, unless I'm looking at the wrong one. Yes, I am looking at the wrong thing. Where is it? These are the textures. Let's have a look. Fit options, sprite index. I totally forgot where it is. There should be a way to update that. There is. I'm an idiot. You need to click on this here, which is the file you added the sprite, and you change this file. So that's how it works. So here you have the file name, which is sage000 layer 3 PNG. So you take this lightning icon, drag and drop it into the file name. You can literally do this for whatever the hell you want. And let's do it file name, okay. And now it goes invisible. And then here you can basically get a file name or whatever, and it works. So now that I have this graphic done, it's not the prettiest looking, but it looks something like this. Animates on, the agent comes in, you hit play and animates out. Once this is done and you have that here, you can create something called a form. So if you hit form on the top right, it creates this little thing. On the bottom left, you have your variables. So let's do text 1. We can have text 2, and then your title 1 and 2. So let's make this a lot bigger. Drag that around. So here we have the title for the first graphic with the text next to it. And then we have the title number 2 with this other graphic. So that's how we have it set up. Then I can click W file agent, drag and drop this in, make this bigger like this, and this will be an image uploader. So yeah, there you go. Let's have it like that. Let's see if that, yeah, there you go. Delete this, make that big like that, and boom, here we have it. So make that smaller, scroll down, yeah, there you go, delete this. And this is what this little editor will now look like. So whenever we edit data, here we can add an image to this file, this variable, and here we change the text for the variable. So now that we have the design done with the animation in, out, and also the form, we will then hit File, Save, and Save as Template, save everything, and then I'm going to call this file name, let's call this graphic or stats, and I'm going to hit Save. This will then save it in the Wasp3D repository on your system, so then it's editable and usable for actual graphic outputting. So now when I turn off the software, it comes with something called the Wasp3D Playout Client Express. So if I open it up, this is similar to like Viz or Expression, where it will open up a playout client, and this will output a NDI key and fill. So you're able to add it into whatever software you want and just have it play out there. So let's wait for it to load. It takes a little while. There we go. Do you want to load last state? No. So here it gives you a quick help to teach you how to do everything. I'm going to turn that off. It also gives you a store with free templates for what you can make. So as you can see, I am very not good at this software compared to everybody else. So they make some really awesome things. So all of this is possible, which is cool. I'm going to close that, and I'm going to create a new playlist. So I'm going to click New Playlist, and I'm going to call this, CG Playlist, and I'm going to call this Show 1. I'm going to hit OK. Okay, it already exists, Show 2. Damn, Show 2. So now here I have Show 2, and I want to add some graphics in. So in my repository, I have the stats that I made. All I do is drag and drop it in, and in there it should become visible in a second. It just takes a little while to load. Or drag and drop it into here. There you go, here I have it. So we can delete one of them. So now, in my repository, if I hit space, I have my playout options here on the bottom right. So take snap, if I hit space, it will preview the graphic. And if I hit space again, it will animate it on like this. Boom. And then the space will go to the next one. So preview it, play it out, and then take it out. If I hit shift space, it will then play it out like this, add on the graphics. Then if I hit shift space again, it will animate out. So this is how the software works. And then you hit space, you can go to the next one, which is really cool. So in order to edit the data on this, all you have to do is click the edit form, which is right here. And now it comes up with what I had earlier. So here I have the text, so test 1, 2, 3. And I think I did this incorrectly, so let me fix this quickly. Let's go into my form. This should be an image that uploads. So let's try and get an image editor. Yes, image editor. And this will have to link to that. I think I said it incorrectly, so let's try and fix this somehow. Well, fix it as we go. So W file agent. It should link to file name. But let's delete that for now. Remove the wire. Unwired. Cool. So let's link this file to this agent or whatever. Okay, that's correct. New variable, file, image. Okay. And link that to the file name. Okay. Let's move that a bit to the side. Locate file. Maybe I can do it here. Let's see if that works. Ah, it does work now. So I'm going to hit play, cue it from the beginning, play, and it appears. Cool. So in my form, let's just re-add this quickly. So W file, and this should be an image form. But why does it not work? Ha. Ah, it does work. I'm just an idiot. You just have to double click. So ignore me. So you just double click and you select whatever image you want. Everything is working as intended the whole time. I just didn't know how to use it properly, so my bad. So let's call this KDA, and let's say 251, defs 5. Put it here 5. So now when I take this graphic, I hit update, and if I animate it on, shift space, we have the Killjoy agent come in, and it says KDA 251 defs 5. So all the data is editable, and if I changed it here to 3 and I hit update, it updates live, which is nice. And same with the agent. I can select one, hit update, and here it updates. So very flexible and very powerful, just for the sake of representing how the software works. Obviously, the graphic doesn't look that nice, but I'm just showing you the capabilities and the functions of what this actually looks like, which is really cool. So if you have a cool design or whatever, you can do it. And you can also import Photoshop files, which is really freaking cool. There's a feature here somewhere. Yeah, here you go. You can add a PSD file or an AI shape and then create other stuff, line graphs or whatever, pie charts, a very, very cool functionality, and then link that to whatever the hell you want. So going back to this playout client, I'm going to open up vMix or OBS or whatever you want. Let's just do vMix for now. I'm going to go add NDI source, and here I have an NDI source that's going to automatically show up called Wasp3D NDI SS1, and here we have it. So here is my source. I'm going to make it smaller just for visibility purposes, and then I can like animate it out like that. So if I were to take the graphic again, shift space, animates it on, data comes in, background's animated, shift space, animates out. Now, the in animation may look a little bit weird because I use a very large few gigabyte file, so that obviously is a strain on resources, but if you just use any proper normal file, it will work a lot better than what I did. And as you can see, this all comes in transparent, so if I have some color bars on top, and I overlay this, you now have like a proper realistic system that is professionally used for free. So here you go, animate it in, it comes in, animate it out, and you have whatever scene you have on top. So here you utilize your key layers, which is normally done in traditional broadcast. Maybe when you're using vMix or OBS, you're used to, let's say, animating a graphic like this. So here's your graphic, you have it on preview, then you will wipe to it or whatever, you know. In real broadcast, you normally overlay something like this as a key. So your graphic source is hot as a key, and then you animate it on, and then it goes on top of everything you have. So that's more of a traditional way of doing it, and then this software allows you to do that fully for free. It's being updated all the time as it goes. It's fairly new. There's a lot of templates that already exist that you can do, which are nice. So 100% look into it, have a look how it works, play around. As creative as you want to get, it will work. I made this in about 20 minutes, as you can see in the video, and it looks pretty freaking cool. It's just the design is whatever. This video is here for you to show you how it works, to show you how it looks, and it looks pretty cool, and the functionality is great. So that's everything. I'll be making 1 or 2 more videos about this, but for now, make sure you download it. I'll put a link in the description, and we can go from there.
Looking for your next gig? Join our exclusive broadcast Discord, where the pros connect, collaborate, and grow.